Welcome back to part 7 of Nancy Drew and the Clue Crew, and we can't wait to see what happens, and we can't wait to find out who stole Hollywood Heather. I can't believe it. I can't wait to find out who stole Hollywood Heather. Alright, let's see. Chapter 7, Party Arty. Oh, don't have kittens, Nadine said. She scooped up the doll. It's not Hollywood Heather. But didn't you tell Brienne Slothsky that you have a Hollywood Heather doll? Nancy asked. Nadine heaved a sigh. She touched her forehead with the back of her hand and said, I wanted Hollywood Heather really badly, so I decided to turn New York Nikki into her. Nancy, Bess, and George stared at the messy-looking doll. You mean that's New York Nikki? George asked, pointing. Nadine nodded sadly. A dolly makeover. That was my plan, she said. I gave her a tan by pouring on my mom's instant tanning lotion. It made her turn orange. I dyed her hair blonde with my mom's hair dye. It made her hair break. Wow, Bess said. Your mom uses a lot of stuff. Nancy cleared her throat. Mrs. Nardo was coming out of the store. Is everything okay? She called. Can we take New York Nikki to the doll hospital now, Mom? Nadine asked, so they can change her back to the way she was before. Yes, Nadine, Mrs. Nardo sighed, as long as you promise never to give your dolls makeovers again. Nadine did look sorry for messing up her doll. Promise, she said. She waved goodbye to Nancy, Bess, and George. Then she followed her mom up the street. How do we know that doll wasn't Hollywood Heather? George asked. I mean, Nadine could have messed her up. But as Nancy thought about the doll, something clicked. That doll's eyes were brown, she said. Aren't Hollywood Heather's eyes blue? Bright blue, Bess agreed. So that was New York Nikki, Nancy said. Nadine didn't take Hollywood Heather after all. Good, George said. Now can we please get some pizza? My stomach is rumbling like a runaway roller coaster. The girls walked toward Pizza Paradise. Once inside, Nancy and Bess ordered cheese slices. George got pepperoni. They were about to bring their plates to a table when Nancy saw Madison Foley. She was carrying a plate too. Do you want to sit with us, Madison? Nancy asked. Can't, Madison said. I'm taking my slice to a Pixie Scout meeting. Then Madison hurried out of the restaurant. Madison is in the 3rd grade like us, Bess said. Don't only 1st and 2nd graders go to Pixie Scouts? Maybe she got left back for not selling enough cookies, George said with a shrug. Nancy, Bess, and George sat down at a small round table. They ate their slices and drank water. Suddenly, they heard someone yell, I'm an alien from Planet Pizza Pie. Nancy glanced up. It was Cassidy Rubin running around the pizza parlor. She was holding pepperonis over her eyes just like she did at the sleepover. Are we lucky or what? Bess asked. Cassidy is one of our suspects. Nancy could see Cassidy's backpack on another table. Look, Nancy said. There's the backpack she was holding at the sleepover. Maybe Hollywood Heather is still inside, Bess said. Forget it, George said, shaking her head. I'm not peeking into any more bags. We don't have to peek, Nancy said. I'll just feel the bag to see if there's a doll inside. Cassidy won't see you anyway, Bess said. She has pepperonis over her eyes. Nancy stood up and walked quietly to the other table. She reached over a paper cup for Cassidy's backpack. Oops, Nancy gasped. She had knocked over the paper cup. Purple liquid was spreading across the table. Nancy didn't want the backpack to get wet, so she quickly picked it up. That's when she heard Cassidy cry, "Help! Nancy Drew is stealing my backpack." "No, I'm not," Nancy reassured the younger girl. Everyone in the pizza parlor was staring at her, even Mr. and Mrs. Randazzo, the owners. Cassidy ran over, dragging Marcy by the hand. "You weren't stealing my sister's backpack, were you, Nancy?" Marcy said. "No," Nancy said. She handed the backpack to Cassidy. "I was just trying to find Hollywood Heather." Marcy stared at Nancy. "My sister may be a pest," she said, "but she's not a thief." "Let's ask her," George said. She turned to Cassidy. "Where were you between 7 and 8 o'clock this morning?" "That's a weird question to ask a little kid," Marcy said. "She can hardly tell time yet." "Can so," Cassidy said. "I was in the living room watching Artie the Aardvark on TV. Deidre's mother said I could." Nancy smiled. She used to watch Artie the Aardvark too, so she knew every cartoon by heart. "What was the show about, Cassidy?" Nancy asked. "It was funny," Cassidy giggled. "Artie was learning how to ride a skateboard in the zoo." "What happened?" Nancy asked. "What are you doing, Nancy?" Bess whispered. "Who cares about Artie the Aardvark?" George asked. Nancy kept on listening. Artie was riding the skateboard. It flipped over and he fell into the seal pond. Then the seal bounced Artie on his nose like a ball. Cassidy laughed. "That's right," Nancy said. "I think I get it," George said. "Cassidy knows everything about the show today." "So she was upstairs watching TV, not downstairs stealing the doll," Bess added. But Nancy wasn't totally sure yet. "One more question, Cassidy," Nancy said. "Why wouldn't you let go of your backpack this morning?" Cassidy clutched her backpack again. She stared at the floor as she shuffled her feet. "Because," she said, "I did take something." Nancy stared at Cassidy. "Was it Hollywood Heather?" Dun, dun, dun. I keep saying dun, dun, dun for some reason because there's cliffhangers on this book. Alright, well, I guess we can't read more until I read again. But we're 3 more chapters away until finding out what happened to Hollywood Heather. Oh shoot, I didn't realize that I was still making the video. Alright, well bye guys. I hope that you all stay safe and healthy. I might make the other 2 videos or 3 videos after lunch. Alright, so but until I see you guys, stay safe and healthy and have a good winter break. Not a bad winter break like I am. Okay, bye. Merry Day after Christmas.